All right, hello. I've got a Minecraft server I've been playing on, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to just showcase the progress of all of this. This was a server I started up with my brother, and we thought it'd be interesting that as we slowly progress through things, just kind of showcase how things are evolving. Things have been running for, I want to say a couple weeks now, but I've been quite busy, so I haven't been on this too much, just a few days of actually being able to play. Um, that said, I feel like I've gotten a few things done, enough to kind of warrant a showcase of at least how the start is all going. And yeah, so we're at our first little threshold here. We got this big wheat farm we've been using just for getting our initial food source, although I've actually been using it for farming seeds more specifically. Stockpiling the wheat right now, that way I can feed some villagers. Bread seems to be doing pretty good. I'm actually not sure what's going to be the most efficient though for maintaining a villager farm. I could do the whole auto feeding thing where we get a villager to farm for themselves, either using potatoes or carrots. But I'm also all like not too bothered by just sticking to wheat anyways and manually farming. I can get quite a bit myself anyways, more so than I will probably need with the villagers. This little auto composter here to dump all my plants that I've been getting, and I feed my seeds to some chickens up here. Hello, little guys. Um, I think at some point I am gonna get a data pack that will make these guys a little quieter. I do like them having around here, this farm. It's being, how accessible it is because it's right next to where I'm doing everything is pretty nice, but they do get a bit loud. I've only gotten 2 cooked chicken from them so far, but I think it's because they're still kind of growing up. They're not quite all adults. This farm's not that old. I've had to put a trapdoor here, and you might notice 2 of them up here because villagers keep getting in, and so they're just little progressive bits of trying to keep them out. I had one villager who was actually back here, so then I put these 2 up, and once he left, this guy should hopefully keep him from getting in. For those of you who don't know, only players and creepers can fit underneath this height, so it makes things pretty safe. For similar reasons, once villagers got outside of my house, I set this up so that they can't get in. They kept trying to walk around here, especially they would, be attracted to some of the job blocks, and I have some beds up and around, some beds up here. Although I can't actually use this bed. The ceiling's too close, you take damage when you get out. So it's just kind of there for now. I'm probably going to put something else up there. We'll see. Otherwise, nice little quick storage. I have unsorted stuff in here and just random items over here. Another player on the server thankfully found some moss, and in exchange for letting him use my villager breeder, he decided to give me a moss block so I can hopefully make a bone meal farm out of that. I don't have to rely on just, this simple junk drawer in order to get that going. Um, let's see, nice little furnace set up here. I've got space set up on the outside of my house. I'm in this little cave here, but I got space set up here where I'm hopefully going to at some point get a kelp farm, and we can go ahead and try to get auto crafters going once that updates out for the dried kelp, and that will allow me to have furnaces that are self-fueled so that I don't have to worry about trying to get coal and charcoal for that. Alright, I'm gonna hop through this painting where I have my bed hidden right now. Just get into the day so I don't get jumped. I did one attempt of a recording here, and I honestly would have just rolled with that, but I noticed my microphone was not quite picking up audio as well as I would like, so I'm doing a new take. Featured creeper blowing me up a few times in this little area though, so I had to patch all that up. Anyways, we're out in this little village here. I'm gonna give a showcase of that, but just I do want to kind of show the surrounding terrain as well. I got this little boat here. So we have our big wheat farm over here, some sugar cane. I believe my brother is set up in the side of this cliff over here. And I think we've got a couple other players on the server right now. I'm not quite sure where they're all holed up, but they are somewhere. I can see a block over there. I wonder if that's where someone's been messing around. Anyways, Just give a quick showcase while we're here. We have our spawn point right up on this hill. So I am directly next to spawn. I believe it's somewhere like right here. Whenever I spawned in, I cleared out the trees just so there would actually be a spawn point. I placed a crafting table nearby so people could get started. Some random water structure here. I find this quite interesting. And then village right across this water. It's really convenient because there is quite a lot of water access in this general area. So hopefully if I'm building all along in this general vicinity, I should be able to travel along all of those real nicely. There used to be part of the default flat bridge that was cutting off this stream, so I went ahead and raised it up rather recently. I'm okay with this bridge, but I'll show there's some difficulties and things I'm already planning with how to make things look a little bit nicer. Particularly, if you're standing here, you notice you can't really see any other bits of the village. Not to say that there actually is anything going on here. All the villagers on the outside are dead. Their life expectancy is, well, quite minimal. I've actually repopulated the general villager numbers multiple times, and they have all managed to kill themselves. The only real thing that's over here is our nether portal, labeled outhouse. The door was left open, making me think we lost one of our villagers to it, so I'm probably gonna have to villager proof this thing as well. Otherwise, got some manual tree farming over here. I think I'm gonna try to build some kind of auto farm over there as well. We'll see how that goes. But as for fixing our little sightline thing, one thing I'm thinking of is as I make these buildings more of custom buildings meant for housing specific villager jobs for trading, I think what I'll probably do is make some of these into larger buildings. I'm not quite sure on how to make things look nice and designing, but since I can't really lower the bridge without it affecting passage underneath, I feel like what that needs to do in order to not block our line of sight is to therefore make everything over here up a little higher. I could also just raise the entire ground here. That would prevent this area from looking kind of flat. So I'm going to kind of float both those ideas and see how that works. Over here we have a little villager breeder here. I have this door sealed off. I might just add a door back. This is so that I can have access to walk in, and this floating trap door is when it's closed like this, then the baby villagers can't get out either. This is how I repopulate the village, so that if I want villagers to grow up as adults, I can capture them later for trades, I can keep it closed. But if I want to repopulate the village, I can keep it open, and then as I feed these parents, the babies will come out. I guess I can give a showcase as to how the farm works. So villagers, whenever they see trapdoors, will always see trapdoors as closed. Oop, I have become one of them. Give me a second. But when villagers see trapdoors, they will always see them as closed, as this. This is what their pathfinding always thinks. I'm not going to close this one. When the babies are born, they want to jump on these beds, so they will try to run across. Since they think they are closed, they won't even attempt to jump the gap, even though they are more than capable of it. And so they will just fall right through. The difficulty you generally run into then is that that I need to trap these villagers so that they don't leave their bed points. When they wake up, they can only wake up on solid blocks, so they will always wake up there. So then I need to both trap them, but also convince them that they are not trapped, because otherwise they will not spawn children, because they will be convinced that the children will also be trapped and will not be able to walk over here. So again, that's where I use trapdoors, because the trapdoors are currently open, but they will believe that the trapdoors are always closed, so they think they have a solid surface to walk over to these beds, which is also why you might find them constantly butting up against the wall, is because they're trying to pathfind in order to move around. Little chair here so I can watch them, and an access hatch so that I can feed them. Close it so zombies don't quite get to them, or at least baby zombies. That's kind of a concern. And I guess that's about it. I have a simple cow and sheep farm right now, just to kind of make do with things, although I do want to clean that up and make it into something a little bit nicer. We have a random nether portal over here. I think this was just a generated one when somebody was leaving the nether at some point. I've never come out from this point, but I also don't know anybody saying that they actually made it. And I know we're generally quite lazy and would not fill in these corners here, so I'm generally led to believe that this is a generated structure. I think that's about it for anything that's been made in terms of progress that I think is even capable of being shown off here. There's not much that's been done, like I said, but there's been a lot of starts for stuff. I've gotten some nice resources. I'll probably give a showcase of anyone else's base if I can find it. Oh, yeah, and this cave down here is just a dripstone farm. The dripstone's not growing. I'm not quite sure what the mechanics are on it growing. I wonder if it just needs more height or something. I will find that out at some point and make that actually grow because I would enjoy having some more of that. I guess I can try to see if I can find this hole in the wall. There it is. I don't think he's done much yet. I think it's mostly just been a carved out box. Yep. It's been just that so far, but we'll see how he progresses. Like I said, not too many of us have had that much time to play on the server. There's one person who I believe has been a little bit more active than us, though I do not know where his base is. We will be showing that off at some point whenever I find that. But in the meantime, here's the progress on mine. Hopefully we can see how this evolves and create something a little bit more interesting as time goes on. All right, yeah, that's about it.